I got one shot with Black Adam. It's the most important movie of my career, and I pushed all chips in. I worked my ass off.
I think we may have talked about this before, or we may have mentioned it in another video, but I just find it absolutely preposterous because Simon Bordejo here, thank you very much for joining me as always, and if you are watching this video, the day it goes live, you know that The Rock's brand new movie, Black Adam,
Born out of rage,
is coming out on the 21st, which I believe is Friday, and the reviews are out now, and it's the usual stuff with superhero movies. Some people love it, some people hate it. The biggest thing I'm intrigued about is because this needs to be good, or at least it needs to be good on some kind of a level, because DC haven't exactly been smashing it when it does come to their run of films. It baffles me that you have the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC seem to just go, well, we can't do what they're doing. It's like, no, literally just do what they're doing and you'll be fine. But I suppose they do have some other controversies to deal with. If you know about The Flash, I'm not going to talk about that here. I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, Dwayne Johnson is doing the press rounds, as you do before you do a movie. And of course, this one popped up, which just killed me. Dwayne Johnson reveals that he had muscle padding removed from his Black Adam super suit because he was ripped enough without it.
When you get to a certain point and you peak, the challenge was I just had to maintain it for 4 months, which was challenging. But here's the thing. I got one shot with Black Adam. It's the most important movie of my career, and I pushed all chips in. I worked my ass off.
I think we may have talked about this before, or we may have mentioned it in another video, but I just find it absolutely preposterous because, yes, most other superhero movies, they will pad out the suit. Why wouldn't you do that? The whole point is to get the aesthetic right. I think it makes much more sense. But when it comes to Mr. Johnson, who right now is bigger than he has ever have been, he didn't even need it.
So with the muscle, with the superhero, yes, costumes, all throughout the suit, like Marvel and DC, they all have these muscle paddings in them.
Of course.
Which is just what you do. So you can imagine that muscle suit, Black Adam muscle suit, with muscle padding on top of my body. It looked like you and I were going back to SNL to do a skit.
Dwayne Johnson revealed on The Tonight Show on Wednesday that he had to tone down the fake muscle padding that is a feature of almost all superhero suits because he was more than muscular enough already. The 50-year-old former pro wrestler joked with Jimmy Fallon that it originally looked like he was filming a Saturday Night Live sketch when he was initially fitted for a padded suit before he put his foot down. Makes me laugh as well. The Rock left pro wrestling basically in like 2005, right? So he has been an actor far longer than he was ever a pro wrestler, still former pro wrestler. I mean, it's true. It just makes me giggle. You were telling me when they were making this suit for you for Black Adam, Fallon said. I mean, you are The Rock. You are Dwayne Johnson. You are just in awesome shape. And you got this suit, and the first one had like pads in it, right? He inquired. Dwayne explained that even the most ripped superhero stars still get an extra boost from their costumes. Dude with the muscle with the superhero costumes, all throughout the superhero like Marvel and DC, they all have these muscle pads, he explained, while clearly trying not to criticize any of the earlier actors or films. I mean, they all get their tops off anyway, so I don't see why anyone would get criticized. Like, even if the Thor suit has muscle padding in there, he was butt naked in the last Thor movie. It's not like you couldn't see he was massively jacked.
To remove the muscle padding, and I really wanted to work hard. I wanted to get in the best shape of my career for this because I felt like Black Adam just commanded that kind of performance.
But what does it take to get into that? Because you're already in good shape. I mean, this is what you're eating, how you're working out.
It was the diet, it was the training, it was the volume of the training.
So I asked them to remove the muscle padding, and I really wanted to work hard. I wanted to get in the best shape of my career for this because I felt like Black Adam just commanded that kind of performance. He explained, I got one shot with Black Adam. It is the most important movie of my career, and I pushed all the chips in and I worked my ass off, and that's what we're going to do, he added. So the suit is basically just skin tight, Fallon said. It's my skin, Johnson said. So now it's a very thin material that is on my body. Now, that kind of doesn't make sense because surely either that or he's got his words wrong and he went to try on the suit and realized he didn't like the muscle padding and then said, look, when I come back, I am going to be in shape. Or he was already in that shape. It's probably not even true. Let's be completely honest. And nor do they have to. But when celebrities do these rounds, of course they go backstage and they make up what they're going to say. Not make up what they're going to say, but like, what would be an interesting story to tell? Oh, this will be good. We'll just see it.
Skin tight.
Yeah, so now it's a very thin material that is on my body.
This is how Dwayne Johnson looks as Black Adam. Look at this. That's what I'm talking about.
Johnson clarified elsewhere in his Tonight Show appearance that his massive muscles were essential to flesh out Black Adam, as he was supposed to be as powerful as Superman, though he noted that Black Adam isn't limited by Superman's desire not to kill his enemies, unless you watch Man of Steel. The Fast and Furious franchise star filmed a joking segment. Oh, we don't need to worry about that when they did accents, blah, 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 blah. Right, where's the comments for one? Because they are always super interesting on articles like this. But the other thing I'm massively intrigued about is obviously we're going to get a Black Adam 2. I would imagine that even if this one doesn't do particularly well at the box office, which I presume it would do, they would try and make a sequel. And he's going to be, what, 52, 53 by then? I don't know how he keeps getting into that kind of a shape. Now, I don't know what he's doing, what he's not doing. I don't know his genetics. I'm not his doctor. But obviously, the older you get, the harder it is to not only put on muscle, but to maintain muscle, which is why, again, when you're in late 30s, should you go to a doctor if you can afford it and ask about testosterone replacement therapy? Yes. Am I going to do it? Yes. Why wouldn't you do it? If your leg was starting to wear out, you would go to the doctor and say, can I have a new leg? So I don't understand why it's not the same with your hormones. But of course, that's not going to turn you into Dwayne Johnson, is what I'm trying to get at here. So yeah, I'm massively intrigued to see if they do another one, how he's going to be able to look like that again. Maybe the muscle padding will come back. And of course, I've just seen some of the comments, and hilarious how this guy pretends he's not juiced to the gills, as ever. Don't worry about it. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Just assume everybody is, and then you don't have to care. Crack Adam, which doesn't even make any sense. I mean, you wouldn't do crack. Oh, what are you talking about? And Javol just says, horrible fellow. It's a strange thing to say. And Not Concentrating said, no padding in the suit, but forgets the pec implants and juice. Okay. I mean, I don't think there's any implants going on here. Like, The Rock clearly does work hard. No one is taking that away from him. I want to make that very clear. Clearly, The Rock still works hard. He works incredibly, incredibly hard. But there's no implants going on. There could be other things, but I don't think there's implants. And then Megan just said Dwayne Schwarzenegger, which is like the lamest comment ever. And apparently people think he's got too big, because Pam Demick said, what an ugly devil. And Little Bird 21, who I imagine is 21, said it's no longer attractive. So for starters, we're referring to The Rock as an inanimate object or something, and it's no longer attractive, which does also open up the door for another chain of conversation. Because that is what's going to happen. If you get absolutely massive and jacked and you think women are going to come and look at you. I mean, it will happen to a small degree, but the huge percentage is going to be men like me. Go, bro, you're so ripped, man. What do you do? Because that's always what happens. Will Hunt is a bit nicer. Oh, no, he's not. Dwayne has built an enormously successful acting career. He doesn't need to be juicing that heavy. It's pretty bad for the liver, kidneys, and heart. And Too Suave says, a guy in his 50s does not say that ripped and muscular without help. Nobody produces enough testosterone to look like that at his age. Now, the problem I have with that comment is, it's not about his testosterone levels. Of course, he's probably elevating those, but you could elevate your testosterone levels to the same as Dwayne Johnson, and you're not going to look like him. He still has superior genetics. He is still born to be a big guy. He just is a big guy. So I think this is what I mean when I say don't worry about who is on drugs and who's not on drugs, and worry about the drugs and what's going on with the drugs. Just worry about you, because even if you were able to somehow sneak in their room and do the exact same protocol, you don't get the same results. So it's pointless worrying about it. It just is. Now, of course, would it be better if somebody... I'm trying to think if anyone's actually confirmed they've done it. I can't think. But would it be better if somebody actually came out who did have that kind of a platform and said, yes, look, I did this, this, and this, so, don't get too carried away? Of course it would be, because it's going to help body representation, and it's going to help your own body images about what you believe to be possible and not possible. But at the same time, I understand that he probably can't do that, because there's a whole industry. There's millions and millions of dollars at stake here, and he's not going to be the guy to bring all that down. Both is and it isn't anything to do with testosterone, so don't get caught up on that one. And Yo Mama says, what a big reveal he made about his muscle padding. So weird. And Lewis, what's up with these three names? I just love him. He seems like a really beautiful human inside and out. Cool dude, he's humble and respectful. I would. He's hot, but I'll also be nervous that his leg would squash me. It's not how human beings work. And a decent fellow in the industry, and he stayed that way. Yeah. Sadly, he has disproportionately skinny bunny. Should have done this one first. So Oscar Hayes lives up to his name and says, sadly, he has disproportionately skinny, puny calves. I'm sure he'll get implants soon. I don't know much about this implants thing. I know that everyone accused Liver King recently of having implants. Is this something I need to look into right now? Again, when it comes to other stuff, wouldn't want to make a call. Well, I would, but I'm not going to, because I've already explained why. When it comes to implants, I'd absolutely make a call. I'm sure there are some people in Hollywood that's had implants. I don't think The Rock is one of them. Right, I'm looking up The Rock now. The Rock body. Is that even going to work? It's not even what I typed in. I typed in The Rock Odie. So let me look at his body there, which was from a while ago. I don't think that's implants, man. Again, there may be something else going on, but I don't think there's implants. And he's mentioned about his weird abs. Not even weird abs, his different abs, because he tore his abductor at WrestleMania. No, I don't think it's an implant thing, but I do think he has got massive for this role. And one of the reasons I want to see it is to see just how massive. And I am massively interested to see if he can keep this up. To me, that should be the peak of Dwayne Johnson's musculature. And we should probably never see it again, as far as I'm concerned. But again, it's nothing to do with me. I don't know what his health and fitness status is. But if I was going to go, 1 to 10, and 1 was that time when Hollywood told him to shrink down and he did, and 10 is what we have with this, I think that would be a fair scale. You don't want to get to 11. Spinal Tap taught us that. Now, please do leave a comment below and let me know what you think about all of this. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Hit the bell ding so you know other videos going live. There will be a video on the screen. Please do give it a click. Otherwise, grillermind.com/Simon. Just go to Simon, get 10% off. All of these things are good. And they've just got creatine in, I believe. So you can get creatine from there now, too. And beta-alanine, I think, has gone in there, too. Or it's going to be soon. What else do we have? We have SimonMiller.BigCartels.com. All t-shirts are £5 right now because I just want to sell through them. And Instagram, SimonMiller316. Same on Twitter. I'm on Cameo if you want to shout out. Patreon.com/SimonMiller316. And I believe that's everything. Now, The Rock is going to be here, there, and everywhere for the next few weeks. Don't get carried away. You don't need to go nuts. You're doing just fine. Worry about you. Your body is what matters, and nobody else's. And I bet that you can smash it.